Hey everyone, it's Mojaxx back in the DJcity UK lab. This video might be a bit haphazard, but it's one of those things where I've been playing with something, I think it's epic, it's free, so I just want to get it out there. So I want to see what you guys and girls can start to do with this technology, because honestly, it's kind of melting my brain a little bit. I think the potential here is massive, and what we're talking about is free. It doesn't cost anything, right? It's called Volta Create, it's new software. First of all, let's go and talk you through the software, and then I'll show you what it can do with a recent iOS device. Let's get to it. The first thing I want to make clear is that this is not a tutorial. Volta Create is super deep, it does a lot of stuff, and I've barely scratched the surface with it so far. If you want tutorials, Volta themselves have a load of videos on their site. This will just be the briefest of overviews. The application is available for Windows and Mac, and the bulk of what it does, the 3D world stuff, does not require any special hardware. You will need a fairly powerful machine with a lot of graphics grunt, but that's about all. The app is in an early beta right now, but it is completely free, and from the sound of it, the Volta team intend to keep it free too. What does it do? Well, they want you to think of it as being like Squarespace but for mixed reality environments. You start with a template 3D world and then customize it with 2D assets, video, images, camera feeds, and have those elements interact in different ways. This is then fed in real time to a 2D output. And here is the real key with Volta. It's not just for streaming. Sure, it works great for streaming, and you can even stream directly to any RTMP server directly from within the application. But for me, there is just as much potential here for live club or festival visuals, or you can record directly in the app to make music or performance videos. You can do anything you want with that output. I've been feeding out via Siphon to an app called Simple Client, making that full screen on my MacBook's second output and feeding that into my Blackmagic 8M via HDMI. The options are endless. Perhaps even more excitingly, at some point down the line, Volta will have a VR app on the Oculus Store, so your performances can be viewed inside virtual reality. I have yet to experiment with VR at all, and I suspect this is what might make me finally pull the trigger on it. There are two main screens, Create and Perform. The Create screen gives you control over the elements of your 3D world, and the Perform screen lets you switch to Director's Cut mode, which controls the camera without any intervention from you. It can even switch angles at set intervals. On the Create screen, you adjust the camera position via the trackpad or using the WASD keyboard controls, which PC gamers will be familiar with. You can feed audio into Volta Create from applications via tools like Loopback and Black Hole, or through audio interfaces, and it connects directly with applications like Ableton Live and Traktor, as well as supporting things like MIDI and OSC. This is all stuff I've not played with so far, but I'm excited to check out. At this time, there are 4 template worlds to choose from. You can't load up your own 3D assets at present, but that is on the company's roadmap for the future. As Volta Create is built on the popular video game engine, Unity, I'm sure people with actual programming skills will be able to create some incredible assets very quickly. Once you have a world loaded up, you can customize elements within it by adding in 2D visual sources, which can be things like images, videos, regular webcam feeds, and generated images. Then you can work with those sources inside the 3D space, wrapping them around objects, chroma keying things out. There are tons of options. The best part for me is that the various parameters of these elements can be linked to MIDI, OSC, and even audio all simultaneously. So you really can create a world which not only looks great, but it will react to your performance again all in real time. I don't want to go past the 3D world stuff too quickly, but it's the part of the app I'm least comfortable with at this point, and besides, I am super hyped on the LiDAR side of things. That's one area where you will need some special hardware, an iOS device like the iPhone 12 Pro or 2020 iPad Pro. Those have a LiDAR sensor built into their cameras, which allow the devices to detect depth in 3D space. It's basically like radar, but with lasers, something like that. To enable this, you download the Volta Arcam app on the App Store and connect it to the software via NDI, which can be done over Wi-Fi, but I'd recommend using Ethernet if you can, as the latency is much lower. At this point, Volta Create is now pulling in a live feed of you from that camera separated from the background, and what it can do with that is pretty special. Because you're separated from the background, Volta can apply what they call body effects to you alone. Dots, cubes, bubbles, trails, brushstrokes, and more. There are a ton of options, and again, these can all be controlled manually or have their parameters controlled automatically by audio or MIDI. You can use the depth controls to tell Volta where you are in the 3D space, and so other elements in that world, existing ones or the wrap effects, can be put in front of you, behind, or even all around you. As with all of this, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface so far, but I am super hyped to find out where I can take it from here. So there you go, a brief look at Volta Create. I was in such a rush to make this video and share this epic new tech with you, I forgot to shoot an outro, so this voiceover will have to do. Remember, Volta Create is free, so get the beta downloaded and see if it can inspire you to take your visuals to the next level. And when you come up with some dope stuff, drop it down in the comments below. Let the rest of the DJ community see what you're doing. Thanks for watching today. Make sure you're subscribed and you hit that bell icon down below to get notified anytime there's a new video from myself or the rest of the DJcity team. I'll see you soon.